February 6, 2024. The location, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. On the last restart, the 88 car, OG Glory, is leading.
88 leads, 88 leads, 88 leads.
Behind him though, the 41 is about to make the charge for the lead, maybe even for the win.
Comeback, making the comeback.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the
Oh!
But wait, there's somebody else. Happy Noob, the second piece of the story, makes a charge by wall riding the last two turns onto OG Glory. What happens next is cinema.
It's going. Yo, the 5 made the pass.
Hey, bro,
the
watch
5
your
made
jet.
the pass. Come on.
Watch your jet,
come
bro.
on.
Watch your
Yo. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Yo, wait, who's that other car? The 96. You can't do that. You can't do that. The 88 cannot do that, bro. The 88 cannot do that, bro. Hold on. Wait. I'll have to recheck it. I'll recheck it. Baby, you'll be able to win.
This was way too early in the league to where penalties didn't even exist, so the win was eventually given to OG Glory. It wasn't perfect, but hell yeah, it was exciting. The race I'm about to talk about is the exact opposite of what happened on that day. Six seasons later, we're back at Indy. Indy has been a historical track in this league, seen from the first clip I showed. Drivers and fans are reminiscing of the past, telling Happy to drive the number 5, which he actually eventually drove. Oda is ready for his commentating debut, Dylan is ready to record, bdog is ready to stream. This race seems like it's going to be a banger. The Brickyard 400, one of the only crown jewels on the schedule. This is the current situation of the Season 6 standings. Dega, an Unk, has been winless all season and has had a lot of mid results, coming off his worst season off record. Rover has 2, making the season kind of like the Unks versus the New Gens. Last time out, it was bdog winning his hometown track and ended off kickstarting what I'm about to explain later. Anyways, let's go to the race. We go green. Right off the bat, the two dominant cars of today, Tanuki and bdog, begin to battle each other for the lead, separating themselves from the rest of the field. Possibly some foreshadowing. The first 5 laps are probably the most entertaining part of the race, as it all goes downhill from here. They form 2 packs, and the 2 cars battling for the lead, basically those whole 5 laps, which is, in my opinion, that was a really entertaining battle, but it only lasted 5 laps, sadly, and it was at the start of the race, and it didn't really matter. This is the peak of the race. For the next 10 or so laps, Tanuki leads with bdog right behind. There's also another interesting thing happening in the back of the pack, as Rover was always being held up by the number 11 Iron Wolf machine, who started, ironically, front row in this race. For the next 10 laps, bdog dominated, yet Tanuki fell behind, and Iron was getting Rover was getting held back by Iron again. A few bumps happened, but that was the only resemblance of entertainment these whole 10 laps. This was literally choo-choo train racing. Soaring, the next piece of this puzzle, was actually catching up to Tanuki. They traded up positions a few times during these 10 laps, but ultimately, they just couldn't catch up to bdog, who was the fastest car today. Eventually, in the closing laps, something just seemed off. bdog was actually kind of falling back, slowly but surely. Tanuki would reduce the interval to just 0.6 seconds, and when it was 2 to go, Tanuki actually had a shot, as he was in sight of the leader. He just needs Soaring to work with him. Well, Soaring didn't, off-screen. It wasn't really his fault, to be honest, but it would help. But to be honest, I don't think it was enough, and Tanuki ended up messing up a corner off-screen. All bdog had to do was cruise to the checkered, and that was it. In bdog's video, he skips every 10 laps because that's how boring it was. I ended up finding a Daytona interview, which that driver was basically 4th place and was a victim of the back of the pack. So, enjoy.
Yeah, no, that race was pretty horrible, actually. I thought we had a pretty good car, but Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know if you guys heard on the radio, but I think I was snoring half of the time during the race. No, I was snoring. Yeah, no, I woke up and we were on turn 4 on the final lap. I was like, that's fun. Yeah. Worst race ever, by the way. If anyone's gonna mention it, worst race ever. I do not want to be a part of this race ever. God, I hate this track.
This ended up kickstarting a 10 race win streak from bdog in all series, making this era of the league one of the most boring. It also created the meme, I wake up, look at my phone, bdog won again, then I go back to sleep. There are so many other candidates on the worst modern list. This is the one I chose for many reasons. I even made a list. 1. Favorites like Rover and Dega were stuck in the back. 2. Last pass for the lead was on lap 18 out of 40. 3. One wide train. 4. The only time Tanuki had a chance, he messed up. 5. Ended up leading to a 10 race win streak by bdog, making this era of the league one of the most boring. I do have to admit, it is impressive winning 10 in a row, but it was really boring. Seeing it's like Max Verstappen 2023. It was just really boring, but really impressive. So, I also forgot to include Iron was holding up Rover. So, yeah. And that was 6 minutes of me explaining why this was the worst race in modern NRRA D1 history. I could make this for D2, but I already know my selection. If you want to know my selection for the worst in D2 Texas last season, and for D3, I don't really know. They're all kind of bad.